We just keep on ticking off the days. There's just 5 days left in the regular season. Almost nothing is set in stone. So just look at the West here, right? Other than the Warriors locked into 10th, every single seed is still in play. So let's get to maybe the most important game of the night, the Rockets and Sun. Again, everybody jockeying here for playoff positioning, and maybe they took this one a little bit more seriously because more than 9 months since being traded to Houston, this was Kevin Durant's return game. The crowd was ready, and they didn't forget because on January the 5th, Durant, he hit that go-ahead three with just a second left, and he said, "Get out of here," to Phoenix. So he's back in a house he knows very, very well here, Mr. Renhurst.
Yeah, this game had a lot going for it, and that move right there was one of the things.
Yeah, that nasty. And then some words maybe for Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, the lip readers thought that Durant was speaking about his career versus Dylan's career.
That is what the lip readers, those distinguished folks, were saying. This is the next possession, though. Durant. Ooh. Devin Booker, he had something to say about it. There's a lot of conversation happening here.
Devin's not afraid to talk to the refs, McMahon.
Is loving it. Very next possession here.
There you go.
Oh,
that's how you handle the villain.
Whoa.
So things get a little bit chippy here as Jayshawn Tate had a hard screen. Going ahead to the fourth quarter, the Rockets up 3. Amen Thompson, slippery eel, as Kendrick Perkins would say, inside for the jam. And then a few minutes later, off the Suns' turnover, the Rockets coming out in transition. Thompson finishes the lob, and it's all Houston the rest of the way. One more. Yeah, we're just about getting to the end. Durant fired
about clutch time tonight.
Up after this one. He finished with 24 as the Rockets get the win. Here's Kevin Durant on Dylan Brooks' impact after the game. What's the lip reading say there?
I think I know.
I don't think about other guys when I play. I think he needed it more than I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't feel like he was a part of the game. He didn't take a shot at that point. He was like 0 for 4, 0 for 5. And that gets him going, you know. And I think that got him going. He made a couple shots after that, but, you know, I don't think about guys like Dylan Brooks when I'm out there playing. I mean, it's fun. It's cool to compete against guys that play hard, but I don't need him or anybody to give me extra motivation.
This is another way of saying, you know who I am. I'm Kevin Durant. But again, this is all about the seeding, right? So with the loss, the Suns, they're locked into that 7-8 play-in game. The Rockets, they can still finish anywhere between 3rd at the highest side of this and 6th. Houston, they're currently 5th in the West, and they're just a game back of Denver, which is number 3 after the Lakers loss. So maybe KD tried to be a little bit cool.
I'm poking the bear.
That is exactly what was happening last night, McMahon.
Listen, man, there was no tribute video. I respect both sides, not pretending that there's warm fuzzies. Like, look, the KD era in Phoenix didn't go well. Not that he played poorly, but it was a failure. It was a massive failure from an organizational perspective. You know, the last time that KD was telling them to go on home from Houston when he hit the game winner, he said post-game, this is basically, I'm paraphrasing, basically said, this is the first time in my career a team wanted to dump me. So he's not coming in there pretending like, oh, please let me. They're booing him every time he touches the ball. Like, this is not like some friendly type of thing. And now, it's not nearly the same type of animosity that KD deals with when he goes back to Bricktown.
Sure. This
This ain't OKC type. That honestly, that is... There's some hatred there, but it's not warm fuzzies.
Yeah, it's not warm and fuzzy, but I'm not sure at the end of the day it matters, other than the fact I do think it's a little odd with all the people who get tribute videos these days. It's a little interesting that Kevin didn't get one.
It was a little petty. It was a little petty. Just a little bit.
Well, what's the saying on this show? You got to stay petty so you don't have to get petty, and apparently the Phoenix Suns were living up to that. But what this comes down to, the brass tacks, Houston's ripped off 7 straight wins.
All that stuff was awesome. I love when Dylan Brooks. Did you see him when he got in the showdown with Benny the Bull the other day? It was one of the great moments of the week.
I'm taking Dylan over Benny.
Yes. All right, fair enough. But Houston has won 7 games in a row, and more importantly, they're in great position in the standings. You know, when they lost to the Lakers 2 weeks ago, they had that back-to-back where they lost to them. They were in terrible shape at that point. Now, not only are they playing really good basketball and really good offensive basketball, which is what their challenge is, look at where they're at. They're now tied with the Lakers in the 4-5. The Lakers are limping to the finish line. Houston is in excellent position to get the 4. Look, let's just be honest right now. The Lakers are the mark.
Yep.
That's who teams want to play because they're so banged up. The Rockets are in position not only to get the mark in the first round, but to potentially do it with home court advantage and momentum. This is one of the reasons why you say in the NBA there's always time. They have taken all of their opportunity to get on a good spot, and that's where they're at.
You cover Houston closely. What are they saying? What have you heard in terms of the way that they are prioritizing the seed that they want to land? Is it just highest possible, or are they playing the matchup game?
I don't think they're playing the matchup game.
Okay.
I think they're just getting as high as possible. But it's funny, I covered that baseball series when the Lakers went down there and beat them twice. And there are some people in Houston who might have listened to the Hoop Collective, might have heard us say that the Rockets are the team that these other teams in the West wanted to see.
Maybe
that was the reality at the time.
Things are always fluid in the NBA.
Yep. Circumstances have changed. The Rockets are certainly playing better. And, really, it's more about the Lakers' misfortune.
Sure.
I mean, what a terrible turn for LA.
Yeah, the Lakers are really the team, unfortunately for them, that there is blood in the water and other teams are smelling it. Although I was in Crypto.com Arena last night and I'm hearing Luka could be back around the team as early as next week. And remember, he went abroad to get that treatment. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. But the West is wild. If that's the West, look at the East. Literally one playoff seed, the Pistons, that's it. That's the only thing that's been decided, that they're the #1 seed. And we only have 3 games left to play. And Detroit, they're the 1 seed, and they also just got some great news to celebrate because Cade Cunningham is expected to make his return to the lineup tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks. He's missed, remember, the last 11 games with a collapsed lung that he got diving on the floor for a ball against the Washington Wizards. So the Pistons, they have the top seed locked up. Now Cade is coming back, but knowing that they already have that seeding, what is the plan for Cade for this final couple of games?
Well, obviously they didn't have to bring him back. They could very easily have just let him have the time, but if he's healthy enough to do it, I think they want to reintegrate him because, quite frankly, even though they have played very, very well with him out, which has actually really impressed me and actually got me to more believe in their chances, they have changed some things up. They've changed some of the things how they've run their offense. I think they'd like to get back into the flow a little bit because once their season ends, the end of this weekend, they're going to not only wait a week, they're going to wait potentially 4 days to find out who their opponent is. So he might as well use these times to try to get some reintegration.
Yeah, chip off some rust. Hopefully he can get a little bit of a rhythm before the layoff for the play-in.
Yeah.
Now, this is not about chasing awards. He's not going to be eligible for that. Frankly, he got screwed out of that by the 65-game rule. The silver lining, though, of Cade missing that time, as you mentioned, the Pistons played well without him. A major reason is because Dennis Jenkins, the guy who started the season on a 2-way, earned a standard deal, really played well as the primary initiator, as their primary creator. And the biggest question about the Pistons all season long is who other than Cade Cunningham can create offense.
Yep.
And we might have gotten some answers during this time that Cade Cunningham, unfortunately, was sidelined.
Yeah, and when you look at certainly getting out of the East, that depth is going to be needed. But watching the Oklahoma City Thunder and seeing that the lineup that they started, the garbage time fourth quarter minutes could have gone on to win a play-in game, they're absolutely going to need that talent up and down the roster if, in fact, they are going to be the team that represents the East and comes out